to like do a burp like right here, and it's like right
It's
there.
recording now, so like we've
As soon as
we've got the intro.
we got the intro.
Yeah.
Welcome. I just need to do a burp, guys. No worries.
Me too. I'm feeling a bit gassy.
No, but you know when sometimes you just get like a bit of gas here, and it just like sits for me right under me titties.
Right there. Diaphragm.
Yeah.
Breathe from the diaphragm. Anyway.
Welcome to the Harry & Co podcast show. Please like and subscribe for more.
We're back. Welcome.
Welcome,
back.
everybody. So lovely to be back.
Welcome to the Harry & Co podcast show with the lovely Nicole.
Hey,
Yeah, it doesn't cut that quick, does it, the camera thing? The auto switch over. It looks weird when I look into the camera. I need to just focus on you.
You need to just look into my eyes, Harry.
Into my eyes. Comes as no surprise. Okay, no singing. We should have boundaries about that. Unless you're a good singer.
Well, yeah, have you heard me?
Sometimes we break out.
Have you heard me? I'm amazing. Oh, you just wait in that karaoke. We need to go for a night out.
We do. We've already said that.
What's your karaoke song?
I do have one. Do you know like UK garage song?
Oh no.
And it's come
on, a little bit.
Do you really like it? Is it wicked?
Yeah,
We're loving
yeah.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
so I know
is that
like
yours?
the rappy bit to it.
Okay,
so,
nice.
Anyway, so if we
I'm like Summer of 69. Summer of 69.
Classic.
And
they
you
play
go,
it
oh,
downstairs sometimes.
Do they?
You know they do music live
yeah,
music.
I always
It's
hear it when I come.
It's a classic.
It's a good one, isn't
When I
it?
used to do wedding discos, I used to play that a lot.
Did
and people loved it. That's a whole other topic. You must see loads of wedding discos.
So many, and so many of the same songs
All
get
the
played.
time.
Yeah, but it gets people on dance floor, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So
That's what it's
I'm
all
all for
about.
that. I'm all for that.
Rock, classic rock, 80s, keeping it real.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get deep.
Let's get deep. We're going to talk about Pride.
Yes.
It's Pride Month.
And do you know why I know it's Pride Month?
Well, other than the flags absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, because there's publicity.
Publicity, yeah.
But then there's all the flags. But the reason I was going to say that and all the flags and everything out in York, have I missed it? Was it last weekend though?
It was last weekend, Pride was, yeah.
So because I was away, so I didn't manage to see anything.
Yeah. I didn't go, unfortunately. I was working, but my wife went. And obviously, it's an important, it's an important month for us. Definitely. Token lesbian. So it is something,
what does that mean?
Well, I don't know. Token lesbian. It's just just came
lesbian.
out, really. Wasn't
right.
any
Came
thought
out.
behind it. Just
came out.
the moment of
moment.
truth. Yeah. So it's
So you were in York, or what did you watch?
Yeah, no, so I was working, but my
yeah.
wife took our little girl.
Yeah.
It was at the race course,
Okay.
York race course. And it was a massive turnout this year.
All right, so it wasn't the city centre parade.
Yeah, so they do a parade. So I should know this, but I think they start in like York Minster or somewhere around kind of the city centre.
I remember.
And they make all the way, the streets close off and they make their way through for the parade. But everyone gets involved. Obviously, you've got NHS, and then you've got the police, and then all kind of businesses throughout York. So everyone really gets involved. So it's it's quite supportive.
I'm going to come back to you about businesses.
Businesses.
With my sinister hat on. Anyway, so I was in, I can't remember if it was last year. The years just go too fast, don't they? It might have been I think it was last year with my friend Jono and the kids, and we got the little face paint, the multicoloured face paint.
Oh yeah, that you
things
just
they were giving
literally
away.
put.
How
Yeah,
cool is that?
they're amazing. Yeah.
So, and then so that must have been last year. So we some like floats and all sorts of like a bus with everyone hanging off it and all that sort of jazz. So I was away last weekend, but my little boy with his mum, I think they went somewhere because he ended up with red hair and face paint.
Oh yeah, definitely like Pride, so, absolutely.
Yeah. I was thinking, it's comic relief. And cause
I had no idea. And then you come back to York and then everything's just rainbows and you're like, it's Pride.
Yeah, I'm like, but have I missed it, or are they out for the coming weekend? So I'm useless at dates and stuff like that. So, no, I'll go on the business thing then. This was something, and this, like, it was in the news and things like that. So obviously, Pride is celebrating, and what's the other word? Awareness. That sounds
awareness,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah, awareness is weird though, isn't it? You say like awareness for like cancer, so which is not a good thing, So I don't know. Awareness is that a good word?
Yeah, it's kind of just like celebrating inclusivity and like bringing everyone together.
That's why celebrating is like a positive thing, isn't it? And where was I going? Oh yeah, so this is all right. So this is one. So I've got my sinister hat on and always thinking about like stuff. And it was like there was something. So like, say Costa Coffee, when Pride was getting a bit more, obviously it's been going on for years, right? The whole the concept of Pride,
Yeah.
and the marches,
The
and the
events
festivals.
and
maybe
stuff,
I guess it started in London and spread, right? Like everything, maybe.
Probably Brighton, to be honest.
yeah.
I don't know,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I could imagine Brighton starting
yeah,
something
yeah.
like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So say
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and then everyone takes it on board, which is great. But then there were like Costa Coffee and places like this were selling like Costa Coffee mugs and stuff with the Pride, like with the colours on. So like, I don't know, imagine Costa Coffee Pride. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hang on a minute. They're now like commercialising it. It's not a charity, is it? So they're not making a donation to anything,
Yeah, that's true.
but they're increasing revenue by putting rainbows on coffee mugs that they're selling.
Oh.
And I was like, come on, where's
Yeah.
this going?
No, absolutely. Like, where's the line?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, are you donating to
Something.
a Pride kind of, an LGBTQ?
Yeah, I mean, there will be support
yeah.
things, charities and stuff like that. I get that, but I'm pretty sure, because this was in the news, like this might have been a couple of years ago, and I was on board with the story that's not right, because, yeah, unless there was the donation thing, or there was something, or they had their own, like, what do you call it, charity, but their own, what's the word I'm looking for?
Other than charity, I wouldn't know.
Not an association, but you know what I mean, their own thing.
Yeah.
Like they've set up their own kind of thing, yeah, but to support people or whatever. But yeah, so that was a bit.
You weren't on board with that. You were like, okay,
isn't
come on.
that a commercial? Yeah, like
absolutely.
I get push the message.
Yeah.
But in a way that's not. But then I guess it's the same. Like anyone who's selling pride flags in a little shop on the corner down here, they're selling them and they're making a profit. And I wouldn't expect people to sell something for nothing and not make a profit. So lots of people are profiting out of everything, selling stuff. But it was just that thing about people using like the pride symbol, if you like, of a rainbow and colours and stuff like that to sell more coffee. And I just didn't really.
Well, I don't drink Costa, but now that they support Pride, I'm definitely going to go in there. Support the lesbians, and I'm absolutely there.
And buy a mug.
Buy a mug, yeah. I'm going to go down to
I don't know if
Costa
they're
now.
still doing it.
Oh, see, I might go see. That's what I mean. I don't drink Costa, but
McDonald's, are they? You get a rainbow Happy Meal.
Oh, that would have been that.
No,
they missed a marketing opportunity there.
But this is it. It shouldn't be a marketing opportunity, should it?
I'll embrace it all. We'll see. We'll see.
So that was the whole point, really.
Yeah.
Because it's just, and so I don't have a problem with the. I like the whole. My concept with everything is like everyone's human, respect everyone.
Yeah.
So whether, and I don't agree or disagree to doing anything about anything, like having marches, having this, that, and the other. But my overall concept is like everyone should have respect at every level.
I think, you know what, I'm going to be completely honest here. As someone who is under that label, the LGBTQ plus.
Am I under it? Is the S in is not normal? Oh, I nearly said not like, but is not lesbian, gay, or like just a straight person. Probably a bit of a weird straight person. But
no, it's so lesbian.
Come on, then this is a challenge
LG
now.
queer. No, sorry, LG, which is gay.
Yeah.
B, which is bisexual.
Everyone's a bit bisexual.
LGBT, transgender. LBGTQ, queer. And then there's a few others though. I think there are. I need to have a look, but there are others. So I don't think so. I don't, because the thing is obviously the celebration and kind of having the LGBTQ plus community is because, straight people, that is kind of seen as the
Don't say norm.
No,
majority.
so that's the majority. That's what I was looking for. The majority, of people, and obviously, people have never found that. That's just always been since Adam and Eve. That's the relationship that has had. I know. Get into my church. Absolutely, we'll talk about the church. Don't you worry. But
don't you worry, guys.
Like I think it's just saying, kind of, that relationship's already acknowledged within the community. So it's not like, but what I was about to say there is kind of about being honest, is that like sometimes I think because I'm so secure and confident, which is, amazing for me to be secure and confident in who I am as an individual and being a lesbian. Really for me personally, I kind of am like, oh, Pride's great. But do you know what I mean? It is something that I'm like, do we need that? But then there's a lot of people not in my boat
Yeah.
that, lost family, lost friends,
Yeah, I can
lost
imagine that.
people who aren't supportive, not lost people who aren't supportive, have people in their life that aren't supportive. And so it's kind of like a celebration in terms of bringing the community together to be like, we've got each other's back,
okay.
we've got this, we're supporting each other.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of what it is. And I'll be completely honest, I'm not an expert. I just knew that I was gay and that I was different. And I didn't do my research, about kind of the meaning behind the pride and everything like that, which maybe I should have. But I think that's more because for me, I'm just secure in who I am. And I tried to change it. I tried not to be, to be gay. So I've never really looked into, I grew up in the church.
Yeah, no, you said that.
So for me, I tried to pray the gay away for a very long time.
To beat it out
and
of yourself.
I tried to fancy males. I remember literally
Was
sitting.
that because the pressure was on from outside,
I
or
think
you
it was,
felt like you should try and change?
Yeah, I think it was because growing up, so this is a good topic. So for me, growing up in Australia, there not one person I knew was gay. It wasn't on TV.
Yeah, you lived in Townsville. There were 3 people there. Like,
come on, there was more than that. But
10.
no one I knew around me. So when I had these feelings towards women, I just thought it was a strong friendship feeling because I had nothing to look to be like, oh my gosh, this is different. So when I had crushes on girls or when maybe I found a girl attractive, there was nothing in me that would be like, oh, I'm a lesbian, because there was nothing to compare. I didn't know what a lesbian was. So for me, growing up in the church, it was just all I saw around me was male and females. So I remember I used to always have really close guy friends and I'd try and have crushes on them. Like I'd literally try and like lie in bed at night and like think of them, and I couldn't. There was nothing that was physically attractive to a male, like for me, to a male.
Another woman.
But then obviously my girlfriends, there was always kind of this attraction or something I really fancied about girls. But again, I never knew what it was until I didn't come out till I was 24. Oh, wow. So I was still in the church at the time.
You were in the church until you were 24?
I was actually studying in Bible college.
Okay.
So I actually did 2 years of Bible college to become a pastor.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So I wasn't just in the church. I was really, really in the church.
Wow.
I used to run a connect group, and we used to do Bible studies. So I was really, really involved in it. And there was just one moment, and I remember, I can't remember. It was a friend. We were driving in the car and there was this girl who I was friends with and we were really close and we were actually roommates at the time.
Yeah.
She used to be gay. And then
is she a listener or a subscriber?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to her for years, so I don't know. So she might do. Absolutely no idea. But we were driving the car and she turned around to me and she said, Nicole, she said, do you have gay tendencies? Right. I'm driving the car and I was like, sorry? Like I was a little bit offended. Like, what do you mean? How dare you? I'm training to be a pastor.
Training not to be a lesbian.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been at the altar the last 3 Sundays trying to pray the gay way. How dare you? And she was, but I remember just that real conversation and never once in my mind, and it was that moment, so I actually wasn't at the altar the previous 3 Sundays, but I remember it never once in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is being gay like? What do you mean? And she was like, look, I've been with girls and obviously, I met God and I've been saved and, I'm in the church now. Right. And, so technically she must have been bi because you can't just go from liking girls to liking boys. Like you probably could.
She prayed hard.
But she prayed harder than me, I'll tell you that. Yeah. So I just remember, so that was like the first moment when I was like, well, what? I can like girls, like that's something I can like. Yeah. And so it was that moment that really clicked for me. And then from there, I went to really not look into it. I don't know. I just started really discovering myself. And I remember going to my pastor at the time. And this was when I really, really just I was like, I'm gay. Like I'm a lesbian. I didn't know what.
Through any experiences or just the thoughts?
No, just the thoughts, just new, right? Never been with a girl. I'd never even been with a male. So imagine, I think I was 23 at the time.
You don't have to say anything you don't want to say.
No, it's fine.
Like
23 at the time, virgin, never been with anyone, never kissed anyone.
Good drills.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I had a cheeky kiss with a boy at the back of his house, when I was probably 10.
Wasn't the psycho killer, was it?
Definitely wasn't the psycho killer.
Next, they've got a knife.
So, I had that moment, and I remember going to my pastor because I was just so open, and obviously I was a leader in the church at that time. Wow. And I said, look, I think I have gay tendencies, because I just used the words that girl had said, because I didn't know what else it was.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a very good kind of reception of it. Is that?
Yeah, I can't
so
imagine.
it was just very much, they just turned around to me and said, okay, so how far do you see this going? And I was like, I see myself walking down the aisle
With a girl.
with a girl.
Wow.
And their face was kind of like, right, okay, well, you know what we're going to do, Nicole? We'll just continue to
Just
pray.
gonna beat you.
And we're just going to continue to pray and trust God. He's got his hand on this.
Yeah.
And no matter what, we support you, we love you. And I just remember going,
Yeah.
at that point, no, you don't. Like, I literally just felt this shun kind of out of the church. And that's when I started to take a step back. I then realized I spoke, I didn't said anything to my parents or anything. I actually left the church.
What, at that time?
I moved away.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. My relationship with God was very important to me, and my faith was very important to me. And I didn't want to, but I just felt like, you know what, I think I need to move away here. So that's when I moved away, and I went to university in Brisbane. So I
this
moved
is out of Townsville.
This is out of town. So I moved to, I lived in the Gold Coast with my
Yeah.
dad. So I moved to live with my dad,
Yeah.
and I did university in Brisbane to study in events. And at that point, I got on Tinder.
Ooh.
Because I didn't know how else to do it. I didn't know, and it was such a private thing where no one could know about it. I was behind a screen.
Yeah.
But I remember that moment of swiping to girls, and I felt so guilty.
So this was, again, personal, but at this
No, go
point,
for
you're
it.
still not had a relationship.
Not had a
sexually
relationship
or-
at all.
yeah, okay.
Nothing. Hadn't had any kind of
Okay.
sexual
Straight onto
relationships with
Tinder.
anyone. Just straight. Well, it
You'll
was
be
just
like,
kind of like.
everyone on Tinder's gonna be like, "Well, you're actually a virgin." They'll be
Yeah,
like, wow.
I know. Imagine. I know. I talked about it, like when I mentioned it to my wife. She just laughed. She was like,
Yeah.
"I cannot believe you were a virgin, like until you were
Yeah.
24."
No, but that's do you know that not because of sexuality or what your choice is and stuff like that, but generally that's like it's something like younger people would make fun
Yeah.
of, but really as an adult that's like quite a respectful thing.
Yeah, it's
And
not
do you know
something
what?
people
Yeah.
laugh at, is it? It's
You're
more
not 14
just like, oh
behind
wow.
the bus shed,
Yeah.
whatever, the bike shed.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
I think when people talk about their first time, they always say it was like it wasn't nothing to talk about. Do you know what I mean?
Of course
It's
it
not
isn't,
like
'cause
special when
yeah.
you're that young.
No, exactly.
But yeah, so I moved away, went on Tinder, and that's when I met my first girlfriend. And if you know lesbians, they move quickly. So It's
in what way? Like
it's
they're
a
really
thing.
fast runners.
No, just kind of like you meet, and the next day you moved in together. So that's pretty
Is
much
that a
how.
thing?
Like, no,
Is that
that
a
is a
lesbian
thing. That
thing?
is a lesbian thing, and that's fine to make fun of because we make fun of it.
But are they quick runners?
Well, have you seen me? I'm not.
You might have been. You might have been when you were
I was
20,
in school,
24.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
So
So-
I had my first girlfriend at
Okay.
24, and that was really hard. So how that happened is I went on a date with a guy. We went up to Byron
Hang
Bay.
on, right.
Okay, we're going
You're
back.
on Tinder looking for girls,
Yep.
but you found a guy.
Yeah. No, not
Right.
on Tinder. So I was
Okay.
on Tinder
Just-
looking for
Just tell me
girls.
slowly because I'm special.
Okay, I was on Tinder looking for girls, and I can't remember how I met this guy. I generally can't remember, but I ended up
Okay.
going on this date with this guy, and he took me up to Byron Bay.
But what was the purpose of a date with a guy then?
I didn't want to come out. I didn't want
So
to.
we were trying.
I was really trying,
Oh my
and
God.
I didn't want to lose all my friends in the church. My whole friendship group
Yeah.
was the church. My whole life was the church, and I'd built such a community the church. And I do speak so highly of the church that I went to back home. Like they were my community. Like I didn't have the best upbringing, and when things were hard, they had my back, and they pulled me through so much. And there was times where I didn't want to be here anymore, and the church got me through that, and my faith got me through that, and so I didn't want to let go of that, and I didn't want to walk away from that, and so I was like, please, I'm getting a bit emotional because it was a moment in my life where I was like, I don't want to lose everyone I've got, but I know that if I was to come out, that I'm going to lose everyone, and I went on this date with this guy, and we drove back in the car. I was driving. So first tick, he doesn't drive. So that was like, no. But he just leant over and he kissed me. And I've never felt so uncomfortable in my life.
Oh.
And I remember going into the house crying. And I just turned to my dad and I just said, Dad, I'm gay. And my dad, oh my gosh, he just hugged me and he just held me. And he's like, darling, it's okay. And I was like, no, but it's not, because I'm going to lose everyone.
Oh my God, you must have been so emotional. I
was a wreck. And then I told my sister, and oh my gosh, they were just amazing. And my sister was like, yeah, Nicole, we know. She's like, I could have told you that years ago. And I, laughing about it. And then I rung my mum, and my mum was very religious. She was really into her faith. And I rung mum at the time because she lived back in Townsville. And I told her, and she was like, darling, she was like, I know. And she was like, and I love you. And
so she says she already knew because of things from before.
I was such a tomboy. I always wanted to play soccer or football, you know, and I'd never brought a boy home. I was just so, like, I didn't wear dresses. And I know that's very stereotypical, absolutely.
And some girls,
there's a lot of girls out there that don't wear dresses and they're not gay.
Or change later on.
But absolutely. So for me, I just knew. And even down to the point where my mum said, I still remember when we tried to get you in a bra and you were like, why can't I just run around with no bra on because in Australia it's so hot. I'm like, why does he get to wear no shirt and I have to have a shirt on? And it was just always a fight with everything with kind of femininity. Yeah, can you? It was just always a fight, and mum was, mum kind of just knew, but she did turn around to me and she said, well, where, and she hung up the phone and she called me back and she was like, darling, can I just ask a question? And I said, yeah. She said, well, where does that leave your relationship with Jesus? And I just remember going, Mum, right now it's not what I can think about. I've got to, and she meant that in she was like, how can I help you? What does this mean for you?
Yep.
And unfortunately, I told my friends, who were involved in the church. Some were amazing about it. But the one thing that really hurt me was, they turned around and they said, we love you and we'll always love you.
Yep.
We just don't love your choice.
Yeah.
And it was never a choice. It was like, no, I can't spend the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I can't force myself to love a male. I can't force myself to be attracted to male.
Yeah.
But number one, I can't force myself to be unloved for the rest of my life. And if that means that I've got to take a step back and do something that's for me, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It was a huge pivotal moment in my life. And I remember I had my first girlfriend. I was with, again, lesbians move fast. So she was living in Sydney at the time. She was from the UK. So that's how I ended up over here.
Yeah.
She was living in Sydney. She moved up to Brisbane. We moved in together, I would say within the first few months.
Yeah.
It was an amazing relationship. And, she taught me how to love. And it was something that, for me, I look back on fondly. But there just became a point where we moved over to the UK because I was working in the event industry.
Not escaping any little bit of that as well.
I would say so. I think
like a fresh start, isn't it?
Yeah, because when I moved to Brisbane, obviously I had my uni mates and they were amazing, but I couldn't find that community again after the church. I lost all that. And
because I think that's a big thing, and I think the church lifestyle for people of all ages, it becomes. You're either in it or you're not.
Absolutely.
And if you are in it, it is a big
It's a massive thing. So for me, I was just kind of like, she turned around to me and she was like, she was doing law at the time. She's like, I'll get my law degree moved over here. And I was like, no, I said, I don't see myself here. I said, I see myself in America or in the UK, because at that time I wanted to work in the music industry.
Yep.
And so she was like,
you are a good singer then.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean. You just wait. Moved over here, and then unfortunately, after that, I just realized I was a friendship.
Yeah.
So after 3 years, we parted ways. And
this is the thing. You never always know what.
No, and it was my first relationship, and like I don't speak on it badly at all. And I think that's the hardest thing is I stayed in the relationship because I did love her, but I didn't know what else to compare it to.
Yeah, because you've not had the.
I hadn't experienced with relationships, and one thing people always turn around and they're like, but you haven't been with a guy, which, maybe you're like, you haven't been with a guy. So how do you know? And I'm like, I don't need to know. Do you know?
No, I know what you mean. It's a difficult one because as an outsider looking in, I know my own thought process and what I think.
Yeah.
But it's very, 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 very interesting.
Yeah.
But also some of it I can't understand, so I'm going to ask you about that. But I think we're part two. We're gonna have to do a part two
already.
Have
we literally? How long have we been talking for?
Too long.
Goodness me,
not long enough. That's why I want to continue.
Yeah.
But what we'll do, we'll split this down.
Yeah.
So a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and stay tuned because next episode coming up is going to be more of the same.
I got way more to say.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And this is the thing is, it's like it's a cliffhanger.
It is.
Because I can't wait to hear the rest of it. I can't wait. It's like the from start to finish. It's the whole story. We need to get up to like now, 2024.
2024.
What's happened?
Absolutely.
You're still here.
Let's
You're
do
here
it.
now.
Am I happy?
Oh, is Nicole happy? Yes or no? Stay tuned to find out. Thanks for watching.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.